So you're thinking of buying a new Switch, then you realize how expensive it is, and the games are even worse. And well, to top that, good luck actually finding one in stock anywhere. And let's be honest, even if you manage to get hold of one, you are then forced to agree to a user agreement that allows Nintendo to do whatever they like to the console that you bought. And it allows them to limit your legal rights to complain about it as well. My name is Arya, and let me show you how to find the best alternatives for Nintendo Switch 2. So without further delay, let's get right to it. So, in case if you don't know the story about Switch 2, just to give you a bit of a quick recap, it got announced in January, it got its proper revealed on the 2nd of April, and let's just say it did not go down well, including myself, and I've done 2 videos on it, which I'll put the link in the description below. But long story short, the price of the main console has gone up significantly, which you can kind of make an excuse for because the price of everything has gone up, but they've increased the price of the games and they lifted the cap on it so the publishers can do whatever they like. Fun times. They increased the cost of the accessories. They've added even a cost for the introductory game. Literally everything now on Switch you gotta pay for. And on top of it, even though the old games are emulated on this console, so there's no actual physical thing on the console that costs Nintendo anything to run those old games, now you actually got to pay them to play your old games on this new console. It's just crazy. And once you kind of add up these costs, let's just say you're buying like 4 games, because now they're about $80 to $90. By the time you pay for some of the general accessories, the memory, the console, and the subscriptions and so on, you're talking about potentially £600 to £700 minimum, or like $900 to $1,000, which is just unthinkable for a Nintendo console within the first year. Now, they didn't sadly just stop there. They continued by changing the user agreements as well. So people then realized now you got to sign up to this new user agreement that allows Nintendo to basically make your new console, new Switch 2 that you paid your hard-earned money for, completely unusable because you did something that they didn't like. So even though you paid all this money for it, you technically are leasing it. And on top of it, because they had the whole issue with the, with the sticks, the drifts and all that you got with the Switch 1, they also now limiting your legal rights as well. So people can't sue them anymore. So once again, even if they give you a broken console with some major issue, they can get away with it. It is utterly shocking. And as somebody who grew up with Nintendo, it's just sad to see. So now that the console is just about to come out, and there's a huge stock issues on top as well, I thought I'm gonna do this video for you. So in case if you're a father like myself, or if you're somebody that wants to find an alternative, I'm gonna go through hardcore options, break down some general costs for you, and some really fun, quirky ones at the end as well. So let's get right to it. How about we start with an option that's potentially a lot more powerful than Switch 2, likely to have a lot better screen, and well, most likely already got in your house. You're thinking, what on earth is he talking about, right? Well, I'm talking about your mobile phone or your tablet. You know, that nice iPad Air that you bought last year just to watch your Netflix at night or play that tower defense game. Or maybe you're giving it to kids to watch YouTube. Well, there's a hell of a lot more that you can do with it in terms of gaming than you realize. And I'm not talking about more of those trashy mobile games either, don't worry. And yes, a lot better control than just touching your screen. You know what? Instead of talking, let me actually show you. So, when it comes to controls, You can get these controllers that will attach to the USB-C on your mobile phone or your tablet. And essentially they got this kind of cover that attach both sides of them at the back. And the model that I'm looking at the moment is Razer. These guys are the absolute best of the best. And I'm doing this on purpose so you can kind of gauge a general idea of potentially how much lower it can go. There's a hell of a lot of options out there, guys. You can check the reviews for them. But let's look at the absolute best. And this is also the top of the range one called Razer Kishi Ultra, which is attaches to your tablet as well. And as you can see, it says $149.99. And this is a full price, no sale. Usually they go on sale in summer sales. You can probably find deals on other websites and so on. But this is just the normal full price for it. And this is going to give you an outstanding control, no drift issues that you had with Switch 1. But now you're thinking, hang on a second, why do I need all these controls for mobile games? Well, here's the thing. While you got your tablet, you can use these cloud services like one which is called Luna. And with this one, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, which most people do, you can play a lot of games just purely to do with that side of things, like Fortnite. Amazing for kids, right? Like Lego stuff. Again, a lifesaver for parents. And even for you, you know, as or myself as an adult, you go Fallout New Vegas, Batman, and you can expand upon it by getting more games through their actual library that's constantly growing by paying a monthly subscription, or even get stuff through this Luna through GOG games, which will give you access to some of the stuff there, like, you know, as you can see, Witcher, Deus Ex, Kingdom Come, or even Ubisoft Plus that gives you latest games like Assassin's Creed Shadows. Brilliant. Now, you can do even more than that, not just this Amazon Luna option as a cloud gaming, which doesn't require anything to be putting immense amount of power on your mobile or your tablet. You can get even Xbox basically Game Pass as well. So through the Xbox Game Pass, they are having an absolutely incredible time right now with Expedition 33, Doom, Atom 4, Oblivion. As you can see, all of these are available through cloud gaming, nice and easy, and they're going to be expanded upon it. So not only you got stuff like even Zoo Tycoon and so on for kids, there's a lot for adults as well. So you got that option that's fantastic right now that you can do through subscription. And you know, as I said, like look at just these, for example. 4 of these games will be like $80 on Nintendo Switch. You got that in 1 month. Now, you even have facilities like something called GeForce Now, which is even more expansive. Like, as you can see, Starfield, Cyberpunk, Dragon's Dogma, Baldur's Gate. And yes, guys, it will run on 1080p, but that would look absolutely fine on a small screen like this, even a tablet. And I have tested some of them here and there. They run absolutely fine as long as you got a decent connection, you know, that we're talking about, like potentially 150, you know, in the house. I'm not talking about dedicated towards this. Again, the higher the resolution that you go on something like GeForce Now, that will let you go up quite a bit. The more requirement it will, you know, ask in terms of speed and so on, but generally speaking, they run smoother, better. But here's the thing. Now, we talked about just pure cloud gaming and the cheapest option. I'm gonna now introduce you to something a lot better and give you a lot more premium experience. So let me show you that one now. So we discussed about the cloud gaming, but just to emphasize the value that you get, when you buy Switch 2 games, as much as they seem physical, that actually most of them are a code inside a box. So still digital, you can't trade them. So not really any difference in that sense. But also, when you look at it from the cost point of view, you're talking about 80 plus for games. So if you buy like 4 of them, you're already talking about 200 plus. Whereas let's just say Game Pass. Well, I've seen it on the key websites as little as £100 to £110. And we've already had some of the best games of the year on it, like Expedition 33. And even more are getting added onto it as well. Or even if you want it for something just for the kids and you don't even want to spend much money, you already got Amazon Prime, you can just use Luna. Simple. And that will give you access to stuff like Fortnite, all these sort of other kids games that you can play. It's just an absolute no-brainer. But how about, as I mentioned, if you want to take the experience to the next level, you want something that's fully offline and it's going to give you the best experience compared to Nintendo Switch 2. Well, there are options that are much, much better, in my opinion, than Switch 2. So let me show you them. So, in my opinion, the top two are ROG Ally and Steam Deck. There are other options like MSI and Lenovo and that sort of thing, but in my opinion, these guys are been absolutely destroying it over the past couple of years. And here's the thing. Let's say about this Steam Deck. As you can see, you can get it as little as $349, and you can still get about 256 gig memory on it, which is the same as the memory cards that our Nintendo are selling at the moment. But let's just say you go in for the middle ground, the OLED version, and you want to get that 512 gigabyte. Great, that still is $479 without any sales. And the thing is, it's going to give you access to your Steam library, and as you know, with Steam you can get some outstanding deals in terms of games. And yes, it is limited to games that are supporting handheld. Again, same as Xbox Game Pass that you can access on these clouds. There are some limitations, but it still is incredible value, because once you, even if you buy like say 10 games on sale and add it onto the console, you still, across an entire year, you're going to be spending less money than you're going to be spending on the Switch 2. And even when you're looking at ROG Ally, yes, it says £599, but I found it in stock on Amazon for $449 right now. But I've seen it go down less than 400 quid, and these are just non-sale period. So other than the fact that you can play Nintendo games, Nintendo games and that sort of thing on Switch 2, this is just a no-brainer, guys. This is so much better, in my opinion, and what you can get even for kids, guys. And you're not also limited by accessories either, because this, you can just basically use any Bluetooth stuff, plug in your headphones, so many different things. Even the memory, you do not need to buy just stuff from Nintendo. I know there are some accessories that you can buy for Nintendo that are non-Nintendo, but they're very rare. Most of the standard stuff, you're limited. And again, because of these new rights that they put into place, that they can basically kill your console if you do something that you don't like, well, if you buy something that's not authorized by them, you're risking it. But how about I now show you some other options that are a bit of a wild card that will give you that bit of a retro feeling. So, I mentioned that I will be discussing my wildcard preference and similar options to it, and I'll get to that. But before that, here's the thing. As a parent, I completely understand, guys. Now with these prices of Switch 2, we're going into crazy territory. And honestly, it's like a heart attack, because when you give it to kids, accidents are part of growing up, and it can happen at any time. And now, as I said, with these prices, this is a luxury. And that's why I've introduced the element of being able to use your phone, because the screens on them tend to be a lot better, stronger, and they're available there for you, so you don't have to spend an absolute fortune. Again, if it's something that's for you, those ultimate handheld consoles like Steam Deck are fantastic options. But if you want to do something completely different, here's where the wildcard comes in. Because if you look at what kids do these days, most of the games that they play are very similar to days of when I was growing up, of arcade, because those games are all about quick, fun, just simple, crazy madness. And that's why these wildcards are the emulator consoles. And here's the thing, I've got, in my opinion, one of the best options I've tested out of all of them. And it's this one that I've got sitting right behind me on the shelf on my videos. And it's called Trimo Smart Pro. This thing is absolutely outstanding. As you can see, a lot of smudges because I use it all the time. You got the sticks, you got the D-pad, you got the controls. It's incredible. And here's the thing, depending on the memory you buy, you got loads of different consoles on there, and you can actually save. Yes, you can actually save middle of a Sonic game. So even if you want to time your kids, you can. It's incredible. And a lot of these emulator consoles do that. And depending on what you want to get, they go as little as 20-30 pound all the way top to 200-300 pound, and they do more and more and more. But this option that I've got, let me show you with this Trimo Pro. The best place that you can get it is through AliExpress. You can find it on Amazon as well. It's about 100 and I believe 50-60 pound because of the increase of tariff cost and that sort of thing. But if you look on AliExpress, it used to be like 50-60 pound, but again, because of these new stuff, is now 89.59. But this is with the 256 memory, and all these consoles that you can see with thousands of games is all on there for you to play. Incredible. And to just give you a bit of an example of other emulator consoles that you can get, if you want to just give kids just to have a bit of a laugh, look, you can get one for as little as 28 pound. You know, you can again look at the reviews for these things to find what's right for you. Yeah, there are some, you know, other ones that are kind of jailbreak and so on, but we're not talking about those. A lot of these minor consoles, yes, some of these won't find them on Amazon because they're, you know, they're different elements, but a lot of the other ones, they're still available on Amazon as well. And here's the great thing with them, is the fact that cheap, they give you something to give the kids to keep them busy, and you can control them as well because there's no internet access, there's no trolling. And even for yourself, for me guys, I love it. I love to go back and play those classics games just to have a bit of a laugh. And yeah, with this Trimo, I get like 5-6 hours of play. Fantastic. So if you want something cheap and cheery, there's your wildcard option. I hope this video has helped you, and if it has, please smash that like button and do subscribe. There's going to be more videos on streaming, gaming tech, and free stuff, so do check them out. But once again, thank you for watching. Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you are, and peace.